We are good. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to episode 12. Thank you all for listening to episode 11. Thank you all for listening from episode 1 to 11. Thank you to everyone that's giving me feedback. I really appreciate you all. Bless you. Today is an interesting day because I had a casting in the morning with Dior, and then I just chilled in D3 to work and plan out some content for the podcast and all that stuff like that. And when I finally got home, I just asked myself, why am I doing all of this? Like, why is success, or why is the journey so hard? Why is it so annoying? Why is it so difficult? Why can't it just be chill and easy? That's something I can do from my bed without much thought, without much action and all of that stuff. And unfortunately, this is the course of success. This is the course of winning. The suffering before the winning, the suffering before the success. And there's only one thing, or there's one major thing that stands in our way nowadays. And that's what I'm going to discuss with you now, which is laziness. And how I overcome and manipulate my laziness, how I play the game and I don't let the game play me. And we're just going to discuss this topic at length and break it down to as little as possible so you can leave this podcast, you can finish listening to this podcast, and your laziness problem is going to be fully solved if you take action, if you listen to what I'm saying. So tune in, grab some popcorn, drink some tea, order some food, do what you're doing if you're a multitasker, and give me all your attention. Or half of it, depending on the kind of brain you have. Anyways, welcome to the Get Exposed show. I'm your host, Ose Odea, your battery charger, your vibes bringer, your storyteller. This is the Get Exposed podcast. And let's dive right into it. Back in high school in Nigeria, where I'm from, Nigeria generally, even before high school, it was very, very difficult to be a lazy person. Let me explain why. You know how they tell you to give yourself a reward at the end of every task or everything you do so you feel more motivated and feel more inspired to do it? Well, in Nigeria, the reward of your task or the reward for doing what you're supposed to do or what you want to do was suffering. Like, you would suffer if you do not do this. You understand? Like, you cannot be lazy to... What example can I use? Okay, in our dormitories, in our rooms in high school, I told you I was in a somewhat military kind of school. That's the best explanation I can give you. In boarding school, the room, there were 20 people in the room, big as room, and it was bunk beds. And there was one, let me say, captain of the room. He was a senior, so he was in his final year, and he was in charge of the dorm. He was in charge of every room. Every room had a senior in charge of it. And this is how we kept our rooms clean. I kid you not. The senior steps in. I remember the first time this happened to me when I first, resumed the high school, when I first started. The moment the senior steps in, he just starts counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And everyone turns into freaking zombie robots and they're just cleaning you. They sweep, mop, dust the whole room in 10 seconds. I kid you not. First time it happened to me, obviously I was frozen. I'm like, what the hell is going on, yo? I was in GS1. I was probably 13 or something like that. But everyone in the room, because the room is a mix of students in different years. So you have year 1 students, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6. So there's people who have experience with this. They know what's happening. They know the drill. But the new students, obviously, as a new student, I was lost. And everyone was going at insane speeds, you. Like, they will go fill up the bucket with water, mop it, dry it, sweep, dust, lay all the beds, clean the louver glass, because we had this, our windows were like louvers. I don't know if you all know what louvers are. It's like sheets of glass, and then you kind of slide it open and slide it closed. That's how it works. Clean that. Do everything to make the room sparkling clean. I swear to God. And from that day on, I was like, damn, Because you know what happens if they do not clean the whole room in 10 seconds? Everyone lay down, like immediately. There's no waste of time. The moment it goes to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, everyone is on the floor. You lay down. He just says, lay down. Everyone lays down. He whips out his belt or his cane or whatever he's going to use to flog the shit out of you. Whatever he's going to use to whoop your ass. Everyone lays down and he whoops everyone in the room for not accomplishing the task. So next time, after whooping you, that doesn't mean that's not the end. He gives you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, because you're halfway there, obviously, from the 10 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, everyone is perfect. He looks, he likes it, cool. Next. No congratulations, no good job, nothing like that. The point is, if you do not accomplish this task in set amount of time, you are going to suffer. You're going to get whooped. You're going to get beaten. You're going to get flogged. And this is the way I lived my life for, 6 years or so. And even back home, when you don't do something, you have to face the repercussion. When you don't wake up and lay your bed and tidy your room, mom's not going to give you dinner. She's going to give you dinner very late when you're hungry as shit. Like the consequences for your action was suffering. There's nothing like giving yourself some reward or gamifying your tasks to give yourself some trophy at the end and you feel good, like, oh, let me do this so I can, win this. No, if I don't do this, I am going to lose this. That was the mindset, for me. That's what I grew up with. That's why it's easy for me to overcome my laziness because I have this upbringing. Obviously, I'm human and sometimes laziness wins. Sometimes procrastination wins. And I'll tell you why I allowed laziness and procrastination to win in a certain phase of my life. I'm going to get to that. But this is one of the best advice I can give you. I don't know if it's good, honestly, but this is what my life, ran on. It was the fear of suffering, the fear of loss, the fear of losing that helped with laziness, that helped me overcome laziness, that helped me play the game of laziness and win it every single time, and procrastination. If you don't do this now, for example, you had 2 pairs of clothes in high school and you had 5 days a week. So you wear your clothes once, maximum 2 times, for fuck's sake. Like the older you get, you wear it like after each day, you go wash it and iron it the next morning. If you come back from school, because we'll finish school and then you go wash your school uniform that you wore to school that day and then you dry it and then in the night it should be dry and then you go press it, you go iron it, you go steam it, or you do it the next morning. Those are 2 different words. Trust me, it makes a whole difference because this is what happens. Remember, there's 20 people per room in boarding school and one house had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 buildings. So 20 times 6, that's 140 students plus more than that, way more than that, per house. And we had one common room. This common room is where everyone in the whole house press their clothes, steam their clothes, iron their clothes, whatever. And there were limited sockets for irons because we used to use pressing irons back then, Why am I saying back then like it's some historical moments? We used to use pressing irons in high school. We just put your blanket, put your clothes on it and, press. And then when you're done, you take your iron and bounce. And next person uses that slot. Or you give someone your iron and then they give you after. Whole other story for that. But if you decide to wash your school uniform in the afternoon or wash your school uniform in the night, it changes your life drastically. Because this is what happens when you wash your school uniform in the afternoon. You come back from school immediately before you do anything because it's siesta. So you have like a 10-minute period to sort your life out before siesta starts. Siesta is mandatory sleep. If you do not sleep during siesta, you're going to get your ass whooped. That's how school was, If you're not sleeping by 2 p.m., someone is going to come and check and whoop your ass, literally. If you're talking, even on your bed, laying down, even if you're not actually sleeping, if you're not at least pretending to sleep and closing your eyes and shutting the F up, a senior or the housemaster, which are like the adults, not the students of the house, we call them housemasters, will come and whoop your ass, literally. Or we'll give you a punishment. Since you don't want to sleep, okay, you go shave grass for 2 hours, then So like it was very strict, and you had to be in bed at a certain amount of time. And when you come back from lunch, because after school you go for lunch and then you come back, and you probably have lunch stains, maybe stew spilled on your shirts or stuff like that. So there's two kinds of people: someone that washes the uniform in a 5 minute period that they have, rush to the bathroom, the laundry room, wash it, dry it in the, outside. What do we used to call it? Whatever. We dry it outside. And you go to your siesta, you go to bed and sleep because you can't do anything then. And then there's someone who chats with his friends and, does whatever, waste their effing time, or eat again after eating lunch. I used to do this some of the times, don't get me wrong. I was not a perfect guy. In fact, my high school life was so unkept and so bad until the final 2-3 years. So, and there's someone else that will miss the opportunity to wash their clothes, and immediately after siesta you go shower, or you could shower before siesta. You had another 5 minutes period. You go shower and then you're out for night prep. You're out for evening activities. There's a study time where about after lunch, after siesta, you go back to classes and you have evening study time, that kind of vibe, where you catch up on the day's activities. Maybe some teachers give you extra lessons. Various things happened. Maybe you have service at the chapel and stuff like that. But there was an evening activity. So immediately after siesta, you have another 10-minute period, 5 minutes time slots where you have to get ready and go. So we had school uniforms and we had house uniforms. Obviously, your house uniforms, imagine it is the same scenario as your school uniform. You had to wash it and get it ready before the next day. So, and there's people that will wash their school uniforms then. That's also cool. And then, they'll let it dry. And by the time you come back from dinner, it's somewhat dry. And you go press it and you're ready for the next day. And then there's some people, like me on some occasions, who wash their school uniform at night. So after the, evening session, you go have dinner, then you have night prep. Night prep is where you go study in class at night. And then after that, you go to bed. I think that's the most time we had. The time between dinner and sleep time and lights out. That's what we called it. All the lights in the whole school premises goes out and you have to sleep, or else you get whooped or you get punished or some stuff like that. And that's when most people, I say 80% of people, 70% of people wash their school uniforms. And that's when the people who wash their school uniforms in the afternoon go to the common room and press their uniforms, get it ironed, get it ready for the next day. Boom, get ready. They go hang it. Boom. Now they even have more time to go chill, catch up, because obviously it was you had friends in another house. You had to go to their house. You go soak gari, you go eat, you go chill. Basically, that was the chilling time. And then after that, you go lights out. Some people wake up, obviously, at the middle of the night to wash their uniforms, or they wash their uniforms during this night period where everyone is chilling, and they dry it. And obviously, it's not going to get dry that night because they cannot press it that night. They go and they wash it and they dry it, and it dries the following morning. So now the following morning comes, and then morning devotion finishes, because we wake up in the morning very early. If you don't wake up, you're getting your ass whooped. You go for devotion. If you're sleeping during devotion because you're tired, you get your ass whooped or you get punished. Stuff like that. And then immediately devotion finishes. Boom. It's insane, yo. It's like a market. Imagine like a busy ass market square. That is the common room, because everyone and their moms is ironing and pressing and steaming the clothes they washed the night before and just dried in the morning, or it's partially dry and they're going to dry it up with the iron and stuff like that. And most people don't get the chance to iron their clothes, and they go into the day, they go to school that day with rumpled, rough, squeezed, or damp clothes, with damp school uniforms, So that's the difference. That's a little difference. Washing your clothes in the afternoon and washing your clothes at night. Same day, same activity, same everything. But that's the difference it made. And obviously, I was guilty, very, very guilty. I think the first 4 or 5 years of high school of doing this, of hustling in the morning to get my shit sorted out. And then I won't have time for anything. I won't have time to plan for the day or do anything else. That whole morning, you're going from common room to common room, because like I said, some common rooms will be full. When the seniors want to press their clothes, if you're a junior, you bounce. That's what you call it. You bounce. And if you're a senior, you bounce the junior. So let's say junior is in the middle of pressing his clothes, you tell him to F off, like piss off, and then you iron your clothes, so the junior has to wait. So it's even worse for you if you're a junior and you don't have like a good plan. And I suffered from this because even if you're lucky and you get a space, a senior just comes and bounces you, or a senior comes and gives you his clothes to press. They had that authority. They were the captains of the school, It was such a big flex being a senior in high school. Oh my God, I miss it. And this is how it is, you're going to end up wasting your whole morning doing what you could have done in the night when it's, because the common room is more chill at night. It's not too chill, but it's more chill and you have more time. And if you have 2 pairs of clothes, you can even get your second pair ready in the afternoon before siesta. But that was very, very, very like for the smart, sharpest guys only. Guys that had plugs, or you lived, or your dorm or your room was very close to the common room, stuff like that. And what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that, like, the difference between procrastinating and doing a task right then, right now, when you can, it can affect your life in a very, very great way down the line. You might not see it. It compiles, it adds up, because you're eventually going to have to do it. And now you're going to use the time you could have used for something else to do it. You're going to use the time you could have used to do another activity, to plan another thing, to see someone else, to be doing that thing you could have done when you should have done it. But then you were busy chilling or relaxing, or you just allowed laziness win and you just decided to do nothing. You said you'd do it later. Why not now? It's not easy, it's hard, but if there's something you have to lose, or if you put something in your head that, I'm going to lose something, or I'm going to suffer if I don't do this, I feel that will help you. And that's what helped me overcome laziness. Because like I said, if what happens at the other end of you not doing a certain task is suffering, you're going to be more inclined to do it. For example, if someone came to you now and be like, you need to walk from your house to Dubai Mall in the next 5 hours to live a happy life, to live a good life, or if you do not walk to Dubai Mall in the next 5 hours, you are going to die. You are going to get cancer. Something really bad is going to happen to you. Which do you think will move people to walk to Dubai Mall in the next 5 hours? For a fact, everyone that heard the second one of them suffering if they don't do it is going to do it. People act on fear. People act more and take more action when they're about to miss out on something, or when something bad will happen to them if they don't do it. This is how you trick your mind. Give yourself a suffering. Like I said, I'm not really sure I should be telling you to do this. I don't know if it is a healthy option. But this is what I do to overcome my laziness, and I think you should try it. Give it a try. If you have been trying this, normal or this good reward approach to laziness and it hasn't been working for you, try this. Put the worst case scenario of what happens if you don't do it at the end, and just watch your mind chase you to do it, because your body, for a fact, doesn't like suffering. Your body loves comfort. Your body will do anything to keep you comfortable and protect you. That is what your brain does. Your brain does anything to protect you. So anything that moves you out of your comfort zone, your brain tries to draw you back. That's why when you don't have something, a reason to do something, like a deadly, I don't say deadly, when you don't give yourself that end result of suffering, then your brain is going to be like, just later, let's relax, we're comfortable now, we're chill now, we're chilling now, let's take it easy. But if your brain knows that it is going to avoid suffering by doing this task, trust me, your brain is going to be in line with you. Be like, yo, get your ass up. Let's do this now. So you need to start communicating to your brain and your body like, yo, if we don't do this, we are all going to suffer this. We are one, so let's do it. We know what we're supposed to do. We know we should do it now. We know we should not procrastinate. We know we shouldn't be lazy. And if we're lazy, we're going to suffer the repercussions. And then you list it out. It depends on your scenario.